How much progress has been made over the past 100 years, Lloyd? I mean, this has been like a century. Can you fill us in?
Well, I must tell you that we made some progress, but not a lot. If Dr. Lloyd Alzheimer was alive today, he would not be able to offer much treatment to his patient than what he did that back in early 1907. Even though we have made a significant progress in understanding how the human brain works, and we have known a little bit more than before about human genome, unfortunately, we have not yet found a drug therapy that works. Alzheimer's disease today is the only major disease that cannot be stopped, prevented, or cured.
So we're stuck in 1906. Is that right, Lloyd? We haven't made any progress since 1906 in the treatment, in an actual treatment.
We made some progress, but we have not found any effective treatment for the disease.
I'm looking forward to hearing about the hope, Lloyd.
Well, the hope is this, over the past 20 years, many drugs been developed. Unfortunately, one by one failed in late stages of their clinical trials. The recent drug failed today is like September 18. A couple of days ago, September 13, 2019, Biogen and Eisai decided to end a phase 3 study of their drug, which is the latest development in Alzheimer's disease. Well, one reason why this drug failed, because as you know, most of these drugs were designed based on the hypothesis that amyloid is the culprit. That time, people thought that Alzheimer's disease is caused by the building up of a certain protein called amyloid beta protein. And that theory dated back in 1985. And it gained more and more popularity, even though there are the competing hypotheses. But the amyloid hypothesis gained the most popularity, and more scientists believe this is the way. So drug companies decided to follow that hypothesis. They developed ways to stop or to prevent or to mitigate building up of amyloid beta. Unfortunately, all these efforts failed. Recently, some drugs such as aducanumab able to show that they can reduce the amyloid beta, but it would not able to help reduce the cognitive impairment or any help with memory function for the patient. So the drug totally failed. Not only it's not effective, but it caused tremendous toxicity. As a result, the company have to stop, continue clinical trial of this drug.
Lloyd, with more than 5.8 million Americans that have Alzheimer's disease, it must be a huge market potential. Are there any drugs for the treatment of Alzheimer's?
I must say that there are 4 drugs not for disease treatment. These drugs are for symptoms mitigating drug, meaning that they help to mitigate or reduce the symptoms of dementia Alzheimer's disease. These are not disease-modified drugs. So for the FDA approved 4 drugs, I can to tell you that one of them is Aricept or donepezil, which was approved by the FDA in 1996. Exelon or rivastigmine was approved in 2001, and Namita or memantine was approved in 2003. The latest drug is Razadin or galantamine was approved in 2005.
This is great news, Lloyd. So you're telling me there's 5 drugs available for treatment.
By the way, those are not totally treatment. Those are for symptoms modified. This just help the patient to mitigate, give a temporary relief. My father died of Alzheimer a while back. I remember he took Aricept. It lasts for about 4 to 5 months. Then the patient, my father, developed some toxic problem and side effect. As a result, we have to stop taking the drug. So these drugs are for symptoms relief, but not for long-term treatment, unfortunately.
So you can only use them for 4 months, then you have to stop it because the toxicity of the drug is worse than the disease of Alzheimer's. Is that
That's
right?
right. That's right. This drug been approved as a symptoms relief, but not for disease treatment.
Over the past 40 years, Lloyd, the U.S. government, and I'm sure many drug companies, have invested a lot of money in research and development for a new drug to cure Alzheimer's disease. So why has every proposed drug for this disease failed in clinical trials?
There are many reasons. First, let me tell you that Alzheimer's disease is a complex disease. It's not easy to understand. Second one, it takes about 12 to 15 years to develop a drug from the lab to take it to the clinical trials. So when you come up with the idea or you come up with a principle for your research, you do not know if the drug works or not until many years later. For example, the amyloid hypothesis gained recognition that back in 1992. It originated in 1985, but it gained recognition in the year 1992. Since then, many pharmaceutical companies and scientists believe that by removing the amyloid beta, we can hope to cure the disease. That's just a hypothesis. You do not know until you actually test it to the human volunteers and the patient. It took a long time, not until over the past several years, we see a long list of drugs fail one by one over the past 10 years. It takes that long. So unfortunately, when you start with the flawed or the incorrect or the wrong hypothesis, you don't know it work or not until decades later. This exactly happened in Alzheimer's research.